Hi, I'm Jen, and today we're going to have a really quick look at the Biodiversity Gain Plan. So this is the document that the LPA will review in order to discharge your BNG condition. So it's obviously a really important part of the process. Sections 1 to 3 are very simple. So we've got the submission details, which will replicate what's in your planning application, developer details, and the responsible person that's completing this document. Section 4 onwards is where we get into the nitty gritty. So here you'll probably need to have a look at your BNG assessment, any other ecology reports and surveys, your on-site plans, and this kind of collates important pieces of information from those documents into here. I'll not go through each one, I'll just pick out a few questions that we tend to get asked about. So one of the main ones is whether the on-site enhancements are considered significant. There is some guidance on this link. Retention isn't classed as enhancements, but if you're enhancing, generally speaking, if you're enhancing and creating medium or higher distinctiveness, then that would be classed as significant. But do have a read and make sure that you know whether it's significant or not, and then you can answer here. And then in relation to this, the next question we do get asked quite a bit about is whether you have a habitat management and monitoring plan. So generally speaking, if you've answered yes to the on-site work being significant, then you would need a HMMP. And that's because the LPA will want to see how you're going to manage and monitor the enhancements and creation of those medium or higher distinctiveness units, if there's any failures, how they will be rectified. So it's really detailing how that's going to be looked after for the 30 years. So that's a really important document that they will need. This section, you need to put the file names of your various documents and make sure that they are submitted when you submit the BGP. So your metric, condition assessments, etc. And then section 6 is your on-site habitat enhancement. So complete your survey information. And then all this here, this actually comes from your biodiversity metric. So if you look on the headline results, all this information can be found there and then input into here. And then section 7, if you are using off-site units, you'll need to fill this in. If you're not, obviously you can skip that section. So you'd answer these questions. And then again, this information would come from that completed metric from the provider on the headline results. Section 8, statutory biodiversity credit. So if you do have to use credits for some reason, then you would need to complete this. Obviously, if not, again, you can skip it. And then section 9 is the trading summary. So it's just a bit of an overview as to if you've met trading rules, just any notes on that. So for example, if you've had to trade up, so if you've needed medium distinctiveness individual trees and you've not been able to meet that locally, but they've traded up to a high distinctiveness, it's worth just popping a note in there to explain what you've done in order to meet trading rules. And then the final question is whether or not you're happy to share data. Obviously, that's an optional question. But in a nutshell, that is the BGP. So I hope you found that useful. Thanks.